Hello and welcome to another edition of Jamaica Magazine. I am Adrian Atkinson, and it's indeed a pleasure to have you with us today. As Jamaica commemorates Emancipation Day, we pause to honor the courage, resilience, and determination of our ancestors, whose struggle for freedom helped shape the nation we proudly call home. Stay with us as we bring you an informative and inspiring program.
Every August 1, Jamaica pauses to remember emancipation, a defining moment in our more than 150-year journey from enslavement to freedom. Here are 3 things to know. Emancipation began in 1834. On August 1 that year, slavery was legally abolished across the British colonies, including Jamaica. But freedom did not arrive all at once. Second, full freedom came in 1838. Many formerly enslaved people were placed under the apprenticeship system and still required to work without pay for part of the week. After resistance and pressure, apprenticeship ended early on August 1, 1838. Third, emancipation is both remembrance and responsibility. It honors the courage, resilience, and resistance of our ancestors and reminds us to protect freedom, dignity, and justice in every generation. This emancipation, remember the past, celebrate the strength of our people, and carry the meaning of freedom forward.
Thank you so much for staying with us right here on Jamaica Magazine. Today, Jamaicans at home and across the diaspora reflect on the courage, resilience, and sacrifices of those who paved the way for our freedom. We begin with an Emancipation Day message from Prime Minister Dr. Andrew Holness.
My fellow Jamaicans, Emancipation Day calls us to remember one of the most consequential turning points in our history. On the 1st of August 1838, full freedom came to the formerly enslaved people of Jamaica after centuries of bondage, exploitation, and injustice. That freedom was not freely or generously given. It was secured through the courage, resistance, and endurance of generations of our ancestors. Some resisted openly, others preserve their dignity through faith, family, culture, work, and community. They refuse to accept that the conditions imposed upon them defined their worth or limited their claim to humanity. Today, we honor them. We remember those whose names were recorded in history and the many more whose names are unknown. We remember the mothers who held families together under brutal conditions, the fathers who struggled to protect and provide, the spiritual leaders who sustained hope, and those who risked everything in the cause of freedom. Their victory was the assertion of a fundamental truth, that every human being is created with dignity, conscience, and the right to determine the course of his or her own life. Emancipation gave our ancestors legal freedom, but it did not immediately give them property, education, economic security, or equal access to opportunity. They entered freedom with very little material wealth and with institutions still shaped by the inequalities of slavery. Yet, they did not wait passively for others to build a future for them. They established free villages. They purchased land, built churches and schools, created businesses, cultivated farms, and formed strong communities. They understood that freedom had to be supported by ownership, education, discipline, cooperation, and faith. We have seen this same spirit in our own time. In the months since Hurricane Melissa, communities across Jamaica have suffered real loss. Nevertheless, they have taken up the hard work of rebuilding. Neighbor helping neighbor, families repairing homes, communities restoring what the storm took away. The endurance, the faith, and cooperation that carried our ancestors out of bondage will carry us through reconstruction. And we are determined to rebuild not only what stood before, but something stronger and more resilient, so that no storm can undo in a night what a generation has built. True freedom is the capacity to make responsible choices, to provide for one's family, to own property, to pursue education, to establish a business, to worship according to conscience, and to participate fully in the life of the nation. Political freedom without economic opportunity is incomplete. Legal rights without personal responsibility cannot produce lasting progress. The promise of emancipation must therefore be renewed in every generation through the work of creating a society to which every Jamaican has a fair opportunity to advance. We must continue to widen access to education, land ownership, housing, employment, and entrepreneurship. We must build an economy in which effort is rewarded, enterprise is encouraged, and families can accumulate assets that may be passed from one generation to the next. We must recover that spirit of self-reliance and enterprise. At the same time, emancipation reminds us that freedom must be protected from every form of domination. No Jamaican should live under the control of criminals, gangs, or violent men who seek to govern communities through fear. A community cannot be truly free when children are afraid to walk to school, when businesses must pay extortion, or when families are forced to remain silent in the presence of wrongdoing. The struggle for freedom, therefore, continues wherever law-abiding citizens are denied peace, security, and opportunity. We must stand firmly for law, justice, and order. We must strengthen families, support responsible parenting, and teach our children that freedom carries duties as well as rights. We must reject the idea that discipline is oppression, that accountability is hostility, or that personal responsibility can be replaced by permanent dependence. The strongest tribute we can pay to our ancestors is to use our freedom well. We honor them when we educate our children, care for our elderly, build honest businesses, protect our communities, and conduct ourselves with dignity. We honor them when we reject prejudice and injustice. We honor them when we refuse to allow the circumstances of our birth to determine the limits of our ambition. Emancipation is both an inheritance and an instruction. It tells us where we have come from, but it is also a call for us to decide what we will become. Let us therefore continue the work of building a Jamaica in which freedom is supported by opportunity, independence by ownership, rights by responsibility, and hope by purposeful action. May we remain worthy of the sacrifices of those who came before us. May we preserve the freedom they secured. And may God continue to bless Jamaica, land we love.
From sunrise on the beach to sunsets in the hills, Jamaica is more than a place. It's a vibe. It's the rhythm in our music, the flavor in our food, and the pride in our people. It's how we celebrate life. Bold, proud, and full of energy. From yard to abroad, once you feel it, you know Jamaica is a vibe. Let's keep it positive. Let's keep it proud. Let's keep it Jamaican, because Jamaica is a vibe.
Emancipation is a shared part of our national story and a time for reflection on the values that continue to shape our nation. Here now is the Emancipation Day message from Leader of the Opposition, Mr. Mark Golding.
Fellow Jamaicans, today we commemorate one of the most profound and defining moments in our history. On the first day of August, 1838, which is 188 years ago, our people awoke to a new reality. The brutal institution of chattel slavery, which had denied generations their humanity, their liberty, and the fruits of their labor, had finally come to an end. Emancipation was not bestowed as an act of benevolence or charity. It was won through extraordinary courage, sacrifice, and resistance. It was secured by men and women whose names history has not always recorded, but whose determination changed the course of our nation's journey forever. This year's national theme, United in Celebrating Resilience, is therefore fitting as it reflects the time-tested resilience which has defined our national character from inception. It is reflected in the resilience of the enslaved persons who endured the unimaginable horrors of enslavement without surrendering their dignity. It is borne out in the resilience of our national heroes, Nanny of the Maroons, Samuel Sharp, Paul Bogle, George William Gordon, Marcus Garvey, Norman Washington Manley, and Sir Alexander Bustamante, and indeed so many others who, in different ways and across generations, challenged injustice and expanded the boundaries of freedom for those who would follow. The resilience that defines Jamaica is not only the ability to survive hardship, it is the determination to transform hardship into hope, adversity into opportunity, and injustice into righteousness. It gives us the courage to believe that tomorrow can be better than today, and it is the source of our willingness to work together to make that vision a reality. The great resilience of our people is one of the enduring lessons of emancipation. Nearly 2 centuries later, we have come a far way, and we should never underestimate how remarkable our national journey has been. We have built a nation whose influence far exceeds its size. Jamaica has given the world extraordinary music, literature, food, art, fashion, athletics, scholarship, entrepreneurship, and innovation. We have inspired movements for freedom and justice and shaped global culture. We have produced sons and daughters whose achievements continue to command international admiration. Wherever Jamaicans have gone, they have carried with them the indomitable spirit, an identity born not of privilege, but of struggle and perseverance. The greatest way to honor those who have fought for our freedom is not simply to celebrate how far we have come since emancipation, but rather to ask whether we are doing enough to fulfill the dreams that they held for future generations. After all, freedom is not limited to freedom from oppression. It also means freedom from poverty, freedom from exclusion, freedom from discrimination, and freedom to pursue one's goals and aspirations with confidence. Many Jamaicans still struggle to access opportunities that allow them to live with security and dignity. Many young people wonder whether their greatest ambitions can only be realized beyond our shores. Many families continue to feel excluded from the full benefits of our country's progress. Another aspect of our emancipation is incomplete. Some of our values and attitudes do not help us to move forward as a people. The Right Excellent Marcus Mosiah Garvey called on us to emancipate ourselves from mental slavery, with the exhortation that none but ourselves can free our minds. There is still work to be done to move ourselves forward beyond this. these realities do not diminish our achievements. Rather, they remind us that the work of nation building remains unfinished. As many people continue to grapple with the devastation and loss caused by Hurricane Melissa and the feeling of abandonment in its aftermath, we have once again witnessed our resilience in communities coming together. Neighbors supported neighbors. Volunteers, churches, civic organizations, and ordinary citizens demonstrated the compassion that has always distinguished the Jamaican character. That spirit reminds us that resilience is strongest when it is shared. But while resilience has ensured our survival, it cannot be and should not be the cornerstone of our national strategy. The responsibility of leadership is not merely to admire and extol the resilience of our people. To the contrary, it is to create the conditions in which we are less dependent on our resilience. We must build institutions that are designed to be fair, transparent, and accountable. We must create an economy that rewards hard work and enterprise and provides opportunities for all our people. We must invest in education, in healthcare, and in public safety. We must ensure that justice is neither delayed nor denied, and that every Jamaican, regardless of where they live or the circumstances into which they were born, is provided with a genuine chance to fulfill their potential. That is how we honor the promise of emancipation. As Jamaicans, we have inherited a rich legacy and a solemn responsibility. Each generation must accept that it's not simply enough to preserve what we have inherited. We have the collective responsibility to leave the nation stronger and more just than we found it, working together in unity. I believe Jamaica has the capacity to build that future. Our greatest asset has always been the creativity and resilience of our people. Their generosity, their courage, and their unwavering belief that no matter how difficult today's circumstances may be, tomorrow can be better. So let us honor those who secured our emancipation by renewing our commitment to the ideals for which they struggled. Let us reject division and embrace our shared destiny. Let us invest in our young people. Let us protect the vulnerable and create the conditions where every Jamaican has the opportunity not merely to survive, but to flourish. If we remain united in purpose, faithful to the values of justice and democracy, and committed to serving one another and our great nation, there is no challenge beyond our capacity to overcome. May the resilience of our people continue to unite and strengthen us. And may God continue to bless each and every Jamaican and our beloved land, Jamaica. Thank you.
Jamaica, Jamaica.
Now Jamaica coming through with Janelle Smith, and the Jamaicans have a slight edge. And the Jamaicans are coming away here. What a run. Brilliant finish here. It's Jamaica's gold.
We produce the best athletes on the planet. Jamaica has the most gold medals per capita in the world. We produce the most musicians per capita. We have the most music produced per capita in the world. From a tourism perspective, we have many world-leading statistics as well. The Caribbean has the bluest waters in the entire world. Don River is the #1 attraction in the entire Caribbean. The luminous lagoon in Palm Mountain is the brightest luminous lagoon in the whole world. The Milk River Spa is the 4th most potent mineral spa in the whole world. Jamaica can fit into Australia 700 times, and Blue Mountain Peak is taller than every mountain in Australia. What I'm trying to share with you is that we are not ordinary. We are extraordinary. We are not normal. We are special. There's something about us as Jamaicans living in Jamaica that the world depends on us for vibe, depends on us for excitement, depends on us for us to lead in the way of creativity.
Jamaica, Jamaica.
The Emancipation holiday often brings families and friends together to enjoy Jamaica's beaches, rivers, and other natural attractions. Before you head out, let's take a look at some important safety tips from NEPA to help ensure your outing is both enjoyable and safe.
The beach, the sunshine, sea breeze, the sound of waves, and memories you want to savor. But have you ever stopped to think, is everyone enjoying the beach safely and responsibly? Whether you're a strong swimmer or just dipping your toes, water safety matters for everyone. Every year, millions visit our water bodies, which include our beaches, rivers, and waterfalls, but not everyone knows the risks. Rip currents, sudden depth changes, slippery rocks, strong undercurrents, and a host of other hazards. But these dangers can be mitigated.
There is a beach control safety measures regulation of 2006, and that regulation speaks specifically to the requirements for safety on the beach for patrons. The regulations speak to the question of lifeguards being on the beach, the roles and responsibilities of the lifeguard to ensure that they have control over what's happening on the beach. And so when you go to a beach, you want to ensure that the area is buoyed and that we have lifeguards.
And don't forget, risky behavior like cliff diving or swimming after drinking, not worth it. Also, never swim alone, and non-swimmers must always wear a life jacket.
When visiting beaches, it's important to ensure that you're swimming where lifeguards are present. Never swim alone, always have somebody with you just in case. Remember to stay hydrated, wear the proper sunscreen, make sure that it's reef safe if you can. Always keep an eye out for children or those around you. Never go do anything unsupervised and just have fun, you know. It's supposed to be a fun time and you can have fun and be safe at the same time.
Using our water bodies safely isn't just about currents and waves or slippery rocks. Marine and freshwater life can also pose risks. Some of our rivers are home to crocodiles, so caution should be taken when taking a dip, and be sure to look out for caution signs regarding wildlife. Jamaica is home to sharks, and while encounters are rare, it's best to be extra cautious during early mornings and late afternoons when visibility is lower and certain species may be more active. Beachgoers should stay alert to local conditions, avoid swimming alone or in secluded areas, and follow any posted safety guidelines. Jellyfish stings can be painful and sometimes life-threatening, so it's important to look out for warning flags or signs on the beach. Fire coral, though it looks harmless, can cause severe skin irritation if touched. By staying alert, following safety notices, and respecting marine life, we can protect ourselves while enjoying the beauty of the ocean. Lifeguards are the first line of defense along our shores, and so the National Environment and Planning Agency NEPA has engaged hundreds of rescuers through training sessions and ensuing exams.
The training exam has been perfect, actually. It's been very strict.
Our role is instructing young persons with knowledge, judgment, and skill, I say in the art and the profession of life-saving and lifeguarding.
What I've learned is that you have to be very focused and observant, because if, for instance, there is someone drowning out there, they can't be able to talk or indicate to someone otherwise from just putting up their hands. So If we as lifeguards can be more observant in the field, we can look out for those incidents and, try to save life.
Swim in safe zones, keep an eye on the little ones, listen to advice from community members, and remember, if you're unsure, ask a lifeguard. A few small choices can make a big impact on our marine life and your safety. Our actions, good or bad, make a big difference in how we balance recreation and conservation when we use our rivers and beaches.
Package your waste and so that it can be collected and disposed of at the proper location, the proper waste disposal site. The public also need to be aware of the importance of our coastal vegetation, as an example, our mangroves, our seagrass along our beaches. They are important in stabilizing our coastal environment.
Our beaches are treasures, not just for today, but for generations to come. So, let's keep them safe and clean. For more details, contact the National Environment and Planning Agency, NEPA. There's also a beach guide webpage where you can access information about Jamaica's beaches, beach safety tips, and ongoing beach cleanup initiatives.
Think artificial intelligence is just sci-fi? Look closer. It's actually the quiet partner helping you tackle your to-do list. From the maps that dodge traffic for your morning commute to the personalized playlist that knows your mood, AI is making daily tasks faster and more intuitive. It's not here to replace us, but to assist us. No matter your age, it's your digital assistant, helping you focus on what really matters. Artificial intelligence is changing how we live and work, making everyday tasks easier. But the heart behind the technology is still human.
Jamaica, mighty one, oh, I bless our land always, for strength and no vigor, with love and no courage, oh, yeah. So let's remind ourselves and tell the world, hey.
We're at the end of today's edition of Jamaica Magazine, but you can stay connected with us online at jis.gov.jm and on our social media platforms. On behalf of the entire production team, I'm Adrian Atkinson. Thank you so much for watching and have yourselves a great weekend.
This has been a production of the Jamaica Information Service, the voice of Jamaica.